Want to get rich? Change your mindset first. Let's dive into the psychology of money and discover why wealth starts in the mind. Have you ever wondered why some people who earn modest incomes become wealthy, while others who earn six-figure salaries struggle financially? Why do intelligent people make poor financial decisions? Why do some investors remain calm during market crashes while others panic? And why does money seem so simple in theory, but so difficult in practice? Welcome to finel.ai. Today, we're exploring some of the most important ideas from the best-selling book, The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. In this book, Morgan Housel shares timeless lessons about money, wealth, financial freedom, and the behaviors that shape our financial lives. Most people believe that managing money is about spreadsheets, budgets, interest rates, and investment strategies. Those things matter. But according to Morgan Housel, there is something even more important: behavior. The author explains that financial success has less to do with intelligence and more to do with habits, emotions, patience, and decision-making. Two people can have access to the same information, earn similar incomes, and live in the same city, yet end up with completely different financial outcomes. Why? Because money is not just about numbers. Money is about psychology. It's about how we think, how we react, how we behave when things go well and when things go badly. Over the next hour, we're going to explore powerful chapters from this book that can completely change the way you think about money. These lessons are not only useful for investors, they're useful for students, business owners, working professionals, families, and anyone who wants to build a more secure financial future. Let's begin with the first chapter. Chapter 1. Everyone has a different money story. In this chapter, Morgan Housel explains that one of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming that financial decisions are purely logical. They are not. Think about it. Imagine two people. The first person grew up during difficult economic times. Their parents worried constantly about bills. They saw financial stress at home. As a result, they became extremely cautious with money. They save aggressively. They avoid debt. They dislike financial risk. Now imagine another person. They grew up in a financially stable household. Their parents invested regularly. Money was never a source of stress. They learned that taking calculated risks often leads to rewards. As adults, these two individuals may make completely different financial decisions. Yet both decisions make sense based on their life experiences. This is an important idea. According to Morgan Housel, people make financial decisions based on what they've experienced, not necessarily based on what textbooks say. That means your relationship with money is influenced by your past, your family, your culture, your environment, and your experiences. The author says that many financial disagreements occur because people are operating from different money stories. One spouse may prioritize saving, the other may prioritize spending. One person may believe debt is dangerous, another may see debt as a tool. Neither person is necessarily wrong, they simply have different experiences. A simple exercise. Ask yourself, what did I learn about money as a child? Did my family discuss finances openly? Was money associated with freedom or stress? Did I grow up believing money was scarce or abundant? Your answers may reveal beliefs that still influence your financial decisions today. What finel.ai thinks Morgan Housel is absolutely right, that everyone has a different money story. However, finel.ai believes that understanding your money story is only the beginning. Many people spend years trying to improve their finances by changing their budget, finding better investments, or increasing their income. While those things matter, lasting financial change rarely happens until you understand the beliefs that drive your decisions. The way you think about money today was often shaped long before you earned your first paycheck. Your childhood experiences, family discussions, cultural influences, financial successes, and financial struggles all contribute to your relationship with money. The challenge is that many people continue operating with money beliefs they never consciously chose. A person who grew up in a household where money was scarce may become so focused on saving that they never invest. A person who grew up in a financially comfortable environment may become so comfortable spending that they never develop financial discipline. Neither extreme creates long-term wealth. finel.ai believes financial maturity happens when you recognize your money story, keep the lessons that serve you, and let go of the beliefs that no longer fit your current reality. Your past may explain your financial behavior, but it should not control your financial future. Real-life example: the saver who never built wealth. Raj grew up in a family where money was always tight. His parents worried constantly about bills, debt, and unexpected expenses. As an adult, Raj became an excellent saver. For more than 20 years, he consistently put money aside and eventually accumulated over $250,000 in savings. The problem was that almost all of his money remained in low-interest savings accounts. He was so afraid of losing money that he never invested. While his account balance grew slowly, inflation quietly reduced the purchasing power of his savings year after year. By retirement, he realized that avoiding all risk had prevented him from taking advantage of the long-term growth available through investing. His childhood experiences protected him from debt, but they also prevented him from building significant wealth. Before you improve your finances, take a moment to understand your money story. Ask yourself, what did I learn about money growing up? Was money associated with stress or security? Do I naturally avoid risk or seek it? Which financial beliefs came from my family, and which ones are truly my own? Finel.ai believes that financial success begins with self-awareness. Before building a budget, investing in stocks, buying real estate, or starting a business, you need to understand the beliefs driving your decisions. The goal is not to blame your past. The goal is to identify which beliefs are helping you and which beliefs are holding you back. Your money story explains where you started. It does not determine where you finish. Your money story explains where you started. It does not determine where you finish. Chapter 2. Luck and risk are always present. In this chapter, Morgan Housel discusses two powerful forces that influence every financial journey: luck and risk. Society loves success stories. We admire entrepreneurs who built companies, investors who became millionaires, business leaders who achieved extraordinary results. But there's an important truth that often gets overlooked. Luck matters, and risk matters. Imagine two entrepreneurs launching businesses at the same time. Both work equally hard, both are intelligent, both are dedicated. One business succeeds, the other fails. Was skill involved? Absolutely. But was luck involved too? Almost certainly. Perhaps one launched at the perfect time. Perhaps one encountered an unexpected opportunity. Perhaps one avoided an economic downturn. Life is rarely as simple as success equals skill and failure equals incompetence. The author says that sometimes people succeed because they made excellent decisions. Sometimes they also benefited from favorable circumstances. Likewise, sometimes people fail despite making responsible choices. This lesson is not meant to discourage you. It's meant to make you wiser. Morgan Housel explains that understanding luck helps you stay humble. Understanding risk helps you stay cautious. Why this matters. Many people become overconfident after success. They begin believing they cannot fail. They take larger risks. They stop preparing for uncertainty. Eventually, reality reminds them that luck was part of the equation. The most successful long-term investors and business owners understand this. They never assume they have complete control. They remain cautious even when things are going well. What finel.ai thinks Morgan Housel makes an important point in this chapter. Success is never driven by skill alone. Luck plays a role, risk plays a role, timing plays a role, and circumstances outside our control play a role. Finel.ai agrees with this perspective, but we would take it one step further. Many people study successful individuals and assume they can simply copy what they did. The problem is that we often see the outcome, but not the hidden role of luck. We see the entrepreneur who built a billion-dollar company. We do not see the thousands of equally talented entrepreneurs who worked just as hard but launched at the wrong time, entered the wrong market, or faced challenges they could not overcome. Likewise, we often judge people who failed as if failure automatically means poor decisions. That is not always true. Sometimes good decisions produce bad outcomes, and sometimes bad decisions produce good outcomes. The key lesson is that you should judge yourself by the quality of your decisions, not by a single outcome. Financial success is a probability game, not a certainty game. Good decisions increase your chances of success, but they do not guarantee success. That is why humility is so important. When things are going well, remember that luck may have helped you. When things are going badly, remember that risk is part of life. Stay humble during success. Stay resilient during setbacks. Real life example. The two restaurant owners. Imagine two restaurant owners opening nearly identical businesses. Both invest their savings. Both work long hours. Both hire good staff. Both serve quality food. The first restaurant opens in 2018. Business grows steadily. Customers return regularly. The owner eventually expands to multiple locations. The second restaurant opens in early 2020. Within months, the pandemic forces restaurants to close. Revenue disappears. Debt accumulates. The business eventually shuts down. Was the first owner more skilled? Maybe. Was the second owner less capable? Not necessarily. Timing and circumstances played a major role. One experienced good luck. The other experienced extraordinary risk. This does not mean skill is unimportant. It means outcomes are influenced by factors beyond our control. The finel.ai lesson: focus on what you can control. You cannot control luck. You cannot control economic cycles. You cannot control market crashes. You cannot control unexpected events. What you can control are your decisions, your savings rate, your investment discipline, your work ethic, your risk management, your willingness to keep learning. finel.ai believes that long-term success comes from consistently making good decisions while accepting that uncertainty will always exist. The goal is not to predict every outcome. The goal is to build a financial life that can survive both good luck and bad luck, because eventually everyone experiences both. Build a financial life that can survive both good luck and bad luck. Chapter 3: The Danger of Never Having Enough. According to Morgan Housel, one of the greatest challenges in building wealth is knowing when enough is enough. Imagine earning $50,000 a year. Then imagine earning $100,000, then $250,000, then $500,000. At what point would you feel satisfied? For many people, the answer is surprisingly difficult. Human beings naturally compare themselves to others. When we achieve one goal, a new goal often appears. The problem is that the finish line keeps moving. There is always someone richer, someone more successful, someone with a bigger house, a newer car, a larger investment portfolio. If you spend your life chasing more without defining what enough means, you may never feel satisfied. Morgan Housel points out that history contains countless examples of wealthy individuals who lost everything because they continued taking unnecessary risks, not because they needed more, but because they wanted more. Greed often disguises itself as ambition. Ambition can be healthy. Greed becomes dangerous when it pushes people beyond reasonable limits. A powerful question: what does enough look like for you? Enough income, enough savings, enough success, enough possessions. Defining enough can provide something many wealthy people never achieve: peace of mind. What finel.ai thinks. Morgan Housel argues that one of the greatest financial challenges is knowing when enough is enough. finel.ai agrees with the principle, but we believe there is an important distinction. The goal is not to stop wanting more. The goal is to understand why you want more. Many people hear this chapter and conclude that ambition is dangerous. We disagree. Human progress is built on ambition. Businesses are built because someone wanted more. Innovations are created because someone wanted more. Families achieve financial freedom because someone wanted more. The problem is not wanting more. The problem is chasing goals that belong to someone else. Many people spend years pursuing a version of success that was defined by society, social media, friends, co-workers, or family members. A bigger house, a luxury vehicle, a higher salary, a larger investment account. Not because they truly want those things, but because they believe those things will finally make them feel successful. finel.ai believes there are two different games. The first is the wealth game. This is about building assets, creating income streams, investing wisely, and improving your financial future. The second is the comparison game. This is about constantly measuring yourself against other people. The wealth game can be won. The comparison game cannot. There will always be someone richer, younger, smarter, more successful, or further ahead. The moment your happiness depends on outperforming everyone else, you enter a race with no finish line. Instead of asking, how much money is enough? finel.ai encourages you to ask a different question. What kind of life am I trying to build? Because money is only a tool. Once the tool is helping you create the life you want, the focus should shift from accumulating wealth to using wealth intentionally. Real-life example. The executive chasing bigger numbers. Amman started his career earning $50,000 per year. His goal was simple: reach a six-figure salary. After years of hard work, he achieved it. For a short time, he felt successful. Then he began comparing himself to people earning $250,000. Suddenly, his achievement no longer felt impressive. A few years later, he was earning $300,000 annually. But now he compared himself to business owners making millions. Every financial milestone became his new starting point. His income kept growing. His satisfaction did not. The problem wasn't his salary. The problem was that his definition of success was based on comparison. The finel.ai lesson. There is nothing wrong with wanting more. Just make sure the more you are chasing is connected to your goals, your values, and your vision of a successful life. Do not let society define success for you. Do not let comparison steal your happiness. And do not risk what you already have for something you do not truly need. finel.ai believes the purpose of wealth is not endless accumulation. The purpose of wealth is freedom. Freedom to spend time where you want. Freedom to work on what matters. Freedom to support the people you love. And freedom to live life on your own terms. Because the people who build lasting wealth are not necessarily the people who earn the most. They are often the people who know exactly why they are pursuing it. The person who defines enough is often richer than the person who has the most. Chapter 4. The Power of Compounding. In this chapter, Morgan Housel explains one of the most powerful forces in finance and life, compounding. If there is one financial principle everyone should understand, it is compounding. Compounding occurs when your money earns returns, and those returns begin generating returns of their own. At first, progress appears slow, almost invisible. But over time, growth accelerates dramatically. Imagine investing a small amount every month. In the beginning, the results may seem disappointing. After a few years, growth feels modest. Many people become impatient and quit. But those who continue often experience extraordinary results decades later. The author says that the same principle applies outside of money. Knowledge compounds, skills compound, relationships compound, health habits compound. Small improvements repeated consistently create remarkable outcomes. Why most people miss it, Morgan Housel explains that human beings naturally focus on short-term results. We want immediate rewards. Compounding requires patience. The biggest rewards often arrive long after the effort begins. This is why consistency beats intensity. Small actions repeated for years outperform occasional bursts of motivation. A financial example: suppose two people invest. One starts at age 25, the other starts at age 35. The first investor may end up significantly wealthier despite investing less money overall. Why? Time. Compounding rewards patience. What finel.ai thinks. Morgan Housel teaches us that compounding is one of the most powerful forces in finance. finel.ai agrees. But we believe most people misunderstand what compounding really means. When people hear the word compounding, they immediately think about investing. Stocks, mutual funds, retirement accounts, investment returns. Those are important. But the biggest mistake is believing that compounding only applies to money. In reality, compounding affects almost every area of life. Your health compounds, your knowledge compounds, your relationships compound, your reputation compounds, your skills compound, and your finances compound. The challenge is that compounding is invisible in the beginning. For months or even years, it often feels like nothing is happening. The person exercising every day doesn't immediately see dramatic results. The person investing every month doesn't immediately become wealthy. The person reading books doesn't immediately become an expert. Most people quit during this stage because they expect immediate progress. They underestimate what can happen in 10 years and overestimate what can happen in 10 days. finel.ai believes that successful people are not necessarily the most talented people. They are often the people who stay consistent long enough for compounding to become visible. The greatest rewards in life rarely come from one big decision. They usually come from thousands of small decisions repeated consistently over time. Real-life example. The two investors, Priya and Rahul, both wanted to build wealth. Priya started investing $300 per month at age 25. Rahul started investing $600 per month at age 35. Rahul invested twice as much every month. Yet when they reached retirement age, Priya had accumulated significantly more wealth. Why? Because she gave compounding an extra 10 years to work. Her biggest advantage wasn't a higher income. It wasn't a better investment strategy. It was time. The lesson is simple. The earlier you start, the harder compounding works on your behalf. The finel.ai lesson. Most people are looking for the next big opportunity, the next stock, the next business idea, the next shortcut. finel.ai believes wealth is usually built through boring consistency, saving regularly, investing regularly, learning regularly, exercising regularly, improving regularly, compounding rewards, patience more than intelligence. It rewards consistency more than intensity, and it rewards people who are willing to keep going long after the excitement disappears. The greatest financial advantage is not finding the perfect investment. It is giving good decisions enough time to compound, because extraordinary results are often nothing more than ordinary actions repeated for an extraordinarily long period of time. Chapter 5. Getting Wealthy versus Staying Wealthy. Morgan Housel points out that making money and keeping money are completely different skills. Many people know how to generate income. Far fewer know how to preserve wealth. Getting wealthy often requires optimism, risk-taking, ambition, confidence. Staying wealthy requires humility, patience, discipline, risk management. The financial world often celebrates big wins: the entrepreneur who sold a company, the investor who earned massive returns, the celebrity who built a fortune. But surviving financially over decades requires a different mindset. The goal isn't just growth. The goal is sustainability, the importance of survival. Imagine two investors. Investor A earns spectacular returns for 5 years and then loses everything. Investor B earns moderate returns for 30 years without experiencing catastrophic losses. Who wins? Investor B, because survival matters. You cannot benefit from future opportunities if you're financially wiped out. This lesson applies to investing, business, and personal finance. Avoid decisions that can permanently damage your financial future. The wealth preservation mindset. Morgan Housel explains that successful long-term wealth builders often ask, what could go wrong? They maintain emergency funds. They diversify investments. They avoid excessive debt. They leave room for mistakes. They understand that financial resilience is often more valuable than financial brilliance. What finel.ai thinks. Morgan Housel highlights an important distinction in this chapter. Getting wealthy and staying wealthy are two completely different skills. finel.ai agrees. In fact, many people spend their entire lives learning how to make money, but very little time learning how to keep it. Building wealth often requires optimism. You start a business, invest in the market, buy real estate, take calculated risks, bet on your future. But once wealth has been created, the game changes. The goal is no longer maximizing returns. The goal becomes protecting what you have built. Many financial disasters happen because people continue playing the wealth building game long after they should have switched to the wealth preservation game. They take bigger risks, use more leverage, borrow more money, chase higher returns, and eventually expose themselves to losses they cannot recover from. finel.ai believes financial success is not measured by your highest net worth. It is measured by how much wealth you can preserve and enjoy over time. Because losing 50% of your wealth requires a 100% gain just to get back where you started. Real-life example: the investor who chased one more win. Ryan built a successful investment portfolio over 20 years. He consistently invested, avoided emotional decisions, and accumulated a substantial nest egg. As retirement approached, he decided to take a large portion of his savings and invest it in a speculative opportunity promising extraordinary returns. The investment failed. Years of wealth creation disappeared in a short period of time. Ryan didn't lose money because he lacked investing knowledge. He lost money because he stopped focusing on preservation and started chasing one more big win. The finel.ai lesson. Many people focus entirely on getting rich. Far fewer focus on staying rich. finel.ai believes the biggest financial mistake is risking something important for something unnecessary. Protect your downside. Maintain an emergency fund, avoid excessive debt, leave room for mistakes, and never assume that good times will last forever. Because wealth is not built by the people who take the biggest risks. Wealth is built by the people who survive long enough for good decisions to compound. Getting wealthy requires taking risks. Staying wealthy requires surviving them. Part 1. Conclusion. We've covered 5 powerful lessons from the psychology of money. First, everyone has a unique money story, and those experiences shape the financial decisions we make today. Second, luck and risk are always present, which is why humility and preparation matter more than certainty. Third, Defining what enough means can protect you from spending your life chasing a finish line that keeps moving. Fourth, compounding rewards, consistency and patience, far more than intensity and short-term effort. And fifth, building wealth and preserving wealth require completely different skills. If there's one lesson to take away from part one, it's this. Financial success is not about being smarter than everyone else. It's about making good decisions consistently, avoiding catastrophic mistakes, and giving time a chance to work in your favor. This week, take 10 minutes and ask yourself 3 questions. What is my money story? What does enough look like for me? And am I building wealth or simply chasing income? Those answers may change the way you think about money. In part 2, we'll explore why you don't need to be right all the time to become wealthy, why freedom is the highest form of financial success, and why the richest people are often the ones who don't look rich at all. If you found this summary valuable, consider subscribing to finel.ai for practical lessons on money, investing, wealth building, and financial freedom. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in part 2.